The town of Plainville. Established in 1721 at the geographical center of Connecticut.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our special meeting of the Plainville Town Council. Today is Tuesday, January 17th, 2023, 7 p.m. If you would all please stand. Councilwoman Tompkins will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We have a lovely group tonight, and for a lot of different reasons. And so we're very happy that you're here with us tonight. But the first item on our agenda is we are going to be recognizing the fire poster contest winners from our local schools, and our fire marshal is going to lead us in that effort. So, Fire Marshal, if you would, is this how we're going to do it? You're going to present the winners tonight and we get to meet them? Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Okay.
Well, good afternoon or good evening. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ron Divert, I'm Town's Fire Marshal. Annually, the Connecticut Fair Plan and the Connecticut Fire Marshals Association does a poster contest. It's geared towards the 4th and the 5th graders. They feel that that age is the right age to instill fire prevention. Hopefully they can bring that forward as they get older. And this year we, as usual, ran the poster contest. We have one winner from the 4th grade.
Ron, could you turn on your mic so that the our recording can pick it up as well? Just there you go. You're all set. Thank you.
Gotcha. All right. So we have one winner from the 4th grade and one winner from the 5th grade. Ava Otuno. And Mubin Malik. My apologies, their artwork is currently still at the state level. I believe it's being graded tomorrow morning. Their posters were delivered to Manchester to the process. So they'll be evaluated on the county level. If they move forward, we'll know that, and I'll notify them. And if they don't, we'll get their posters back so they can have them, and we'll present them. We'll do a little press release, and it'll be in the paper.
Do you mind if I get a quick picture?
Absolutely.
Thanks. Of you guys too, not just of the fire.
Yeah, not just me.
The last guy I want to pick.
They know me.
I'll call Ron up to the office anytime if I want a selfie with you. And no, with Ron, yeah. You want to stand right next to Ron?
Great. Either way.
He's not that scary. Thank you. Congratulations.
Good job.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the families and the students who were the winners. Congratulations from us. Well done. We appreciate that you came here tonight. Okay, we're going to move along with our agenda. We do not have any other presentations. We do not have a public hearing. I'll ask for approval of the minutes of the January 3rd meeting.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion to approve January 3rd, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Are there any additions or corrections to those? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We have a report regarding the Charter Revision Commission. Michael, is that something you're going to be doing for us?
Actually, Andy has.
Or Andy? Okay.
Sure, yeah, thank you. The Charter Revision Commission met for the first time on Thursday, January 5th. This was an organizational meeting where the commission members discussed the council's charge to the commission, in addition to their duties and responsibilities and the meeting calendar. Within your meeting packet, you can find the agenda and the minutes to that meeting. In addition, they elected Mr. John Gasparini as chair, Ms. Dana Snell as vice chair, and Ms. Quinn Christopher as secretary. Prior to beginning any substantive work, the commission is required to have a public hearing. This is scheduled for Thursday, February 2nd at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers.
Okay, thank you. We also had an item on our announcements and reports regarding National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and we're very happy that there are a number of representatives from our police department and our fire department here tonight. But I would like to, on behalf of the town council, thank you all so very, very much for your ongoing dedication to keeping Plainville safe, and more importantly, keeping yourselves safe. There's nothing probably more trying or more difficult or more challenging than being a police officer during these times. And we certainly do appreciate all that you do every single day, not just one day out of the year, but every day. So thank you all very, very much for what you do on behalf of the council. Okay, moving along, we have some appointments tonight which are very important for us to take care of. The first one is the fire chief's appointments, and I'll have Mr. Underwood help us with that.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion to appoint Thomas Mancini as chief of the fire department for a 2-year term, subject to conditions of a side letter of agreement.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Congratulations, Chief Machini.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
motion to appoint Adrian Paradise as deputy chief of the fire department for a 2-year term.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, Adrian.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion to appoint Kurt Plord as first assistant chief of the fire department for a 2-year term.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Kurt.
One more, Madam Chair.
Mr. Underwood.
Motion to appoint David Massey as second assistant chief of the fire department for a 1-year term.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, David. Okay, thank you. Item number 2.
Madam Chair, motion to appoint John Quilter as police lieutenant effective January 18th, 2023.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Before we vote, congratulations, John. You are, you've been a longtime member of the Plainville Police Department, and I'm going to actually ask the chief to step up and say a few words on your behalf, but congratulations, that's well done. And I will remember to vote on this. And then you're going to be sworn in by our town clerk, so there's things that have to happen.
Thank you so much. This is an occasion when I'm actually very happy to stand before you. When it becomes budget season, that might not be the case, but for today, it's a very happy occasion. It's not too often that a police chief gets to promote, let alone promote to the rank of lieutenant. As you know, this position was opened up when long-term Plainville Police Lieutenant Eric Peterson retired to become chief in Coventry. I almost forgot. And thank you very much, Chief, for being here today to lend your congratulations to John. A little bit about John. John grew up in Bristol to a law enforcement family. His father retired after a very long career with Bristol as a police lieutenant. After high school, John entered the United States Army, and while serving his country in the Army, he attained the rank of corporal and held a number of training and leadership positions. Only weeks after being honorably discharged from the Army, he was hired onto the Plainville Police Department, where he served for the past 23-plus years. During his time in the Plainville Police Department, he held various ranks such as patrol officer, bicycle officer, field training officer, corporal, patrol sergeant, FTO coordinator, honor guard member, drone pilot, and most recently administrative sergeant, where he has managed the traffic division, training division, scheduling, and grant writing, as well as anything else that is left over that nobody else wants to do that is thrown into John's lap. And he does it with a smile on his face, and he always does a great job. He's been awarded a life-saving medal, the MAD Award, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and several letters of commendation. He has volunteered for almost every single youth sports program that there is in the town of Plainville. He has run the Special Olympics, has run the Plainville Police Athletic League basketball program for a number of years, and is also a member of the Plainville Rotary Club. John is very invested in this community, not just as a person, but also as a police officer. He was one of the first people I met. In fact, before my first day, he called me on the phone to introduce himself and told me he was going to be the one to get me started, get my uniforms, and get me situated. And anytime I had any question about the town of Plainville, John knows all. So he's been a great resource to me, a great resource to the department for the last 23 years. And it is a very great honor to bring him forward for promotion. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Chief. So before we vote, does anybody have any comment they'd like to make? I know many of you have known John a long time and have interacted with him on a lot of different good things. So if anybody else wishes to make a comment, please do so, and then we will vote.
I'd like to say congratulations. I was fortunate enough to be here when we first accepted your application. I'm very proud of that. You've done a great job, and I'm sure you'll continue to do a great job for the town of Plainville. But and everyone here, certainly your work's appreciated, and it's certainly something we don't forget.
Okay. Again, John, congratulations. You are beloved in the town. Everybody knows you, and you've done a great job with all your civic activities. You're right there at the Pumpkin Fest helping us out, which is a big undertaking, to say the least. And we do appreciate all of your support, and you've had a wonderful career with the Plainville Police Department, so you've certainly earned this honor, and congratulations again. All right. Okay. We will now vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. And now you will be sworn in by our town clerk.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, the laws and ordinances of the town of Plainville, obey the rules and regulations and orders of the police department, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties as police lieutenant for the town of Plainville according to the best of knowledge and ability?
I will.
Congratulations.
Don't flinch.
John, this is your lovely wife pinning you? Okay, good. Making sure. I don't know. Okay.
I'm not much of a public speaker, so this will be quick.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Thank you, Chief, Mr. Paulus, ladies and gentlemen of the council, all my friends and colleagues that came out today. I appreciate it. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank my family, my wife Missy, my 3 kids. They've helped me get my career to this point. They've supported me, kept things up at home while I'm at work, and so when I'm constantly working to advance my career and meet my goals. I also have to acknowledge the original Lieutenant John Quilter, my dad. He can't be here tonight, but for his lifetime of guidance and mentorship. Truly appreciative and humbled by this opportunity. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to taking on a larger leadership role with our police department. Thank you.
Great. Congratulations again, John. Okay, we have a few more things to take care of, but if you would like to stay for the rest of our meeting, you're of course welcome, but if anybody would like to go on to fun things, please do so. We're going to take a little break. Congratulations. All right, we will return to the rest of our agenda. We are still under appointments and resignations, and we are at item number 3.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Rocco.
Motion to accept with regret the resignation of Jonathan Anisto from the Aviation Commission.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Rocco.
motion to appoint Jonathan Anisto as a regular member of the Capital Projects Building Committee.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Madam
Item
Chair,
number 5.
motion to accept with regret the resignation of Colin Cassidy from Recreation and Park Advisory Board.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Just a bit of information. Mr. Cassidy has moved out of town, so he was not able to stay on the commission, but we appreciate his work that he did.
Was he a longstanding member, Kathy?
He has been there for about a year or so.
A year. Yeah,
Is that about
roughly. He's
right?
one of the newer members.
One of the newer ones, yep. So he bought a house, actually, and he's had to move out of town, so. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Are there any other appointments that we need to take care of tonight?
Yes, there is. Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion to appoint Dominic Moschini to James Place as a regular member of the Aviation Commission.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Nice to see Dominic is still involved in things in town, so he'll be a good member to take on. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any other appointments that we need to take care of tonight? Okay, thank you for that. Moving on to the rest of our agenda. Board of Education liaison. The Board of Ed is meeting tonight with their first budget work session. Unfortunately, we had a conflict. Normally, I would go to that, but I was sent the minutes from the last Board of Education meeting, and they are there's a lot here. I'm going to touch on a few things that I think would be of interest to the council, and interest regarding the capital improvement plan, and also looking forward to the middle school. So I'll just give you a little bit of information. Mr. LePage said that he met with the town manager, Rob Buden, and assistant town manager, to discuss the capital budget. And they talked about some work that may potentially be done at the middle school, not $59 million project, but something in a lesser dollar amount, which would take care of some of the important aspects of the building in order to get some things done. Mr. LePage reported that he has asked CSG, which is the group that had prepared the first original draft of planning for the middle school, to identify and map out a number of critical improvement and repair plans, and to use a bond of upward of $10 million to take care of some of this work. There's a contract draft that's got to be signed with CSG, and once that's taken care of, CSG will work with the administration to try to identify some of these areas that may be able to be taken care of, although it won't be a renovate like new, but it would certainly take care of a number of the mechanical items that need to occur at the school. So that is some information. There was a lot of discussion among the board members regarding the middle school project and things of that nature, but that is the latest information that's coming out regarding the middle school. He also mentioned that they're going to be looking for a possible solution to the air conditioning issue in the gymnasium at the middle school. Mike Smith and Mike Dixon, along with Mr. LePage, have been pricing air conditioning units for the middle school. This is an area that was included in the Renovate Like New, but they're taking it out as a separate project. So, and there's more to come on that, but we're going to be looking at using perhaps some ARPA and ESSER funds to help take care of that as a separate carve-out from some of the other major projects that are going to be going on in their look at the middle school. So they there's a new approach. There's an opportunity to get some of these things done. CSG will be working with the school and with the town and, of course, with the council in regard to what can be taken care of and what the dollar amount would be in order to make this a possibility. So that's something I think everybody can agree that would be in the best interest of the school system and taking care of some of these other items that have to be looked at. They also talked about the Verizon cell tower, which had come across our desk as well. I advised them that that project is pretty much still on a hold pattern. There's nothing that's going to be that's going to be activated anytime soon, and so they're aware of that. But they certainly will be kept informed as to what happens to that. Other than that, they also had an interesting presentation from the director of safety and security, who's our former Plainville police officer, Rich Marquis. He went over a number of items that he's doing to train the school community in regard to a number of different issues that could come up, and he's working on that and putting together a plan. New cameras have been added and upgraded, a total of 303 cameras. They have been installed at Linden, which has 88 cameras. The high school has 52 cameras. The middle school, 60 cameras, and Wheeler School has 52 cameras. So there's certainly a lot of eyes on at the school, and he's going to continue to coordinate other items as he sees required in order to ensure some of the physical security at the school, as well as, some of the training that staff should probably go through. So those were some of the highlights of the Board of Ed meeting. Okay. Report of the town attorney. Do we have a report tonight, Attorney Mastriani?
Folks, I do not have a report for you.
Okay. Thank you for coming by and seeing us. All right, report of the town manager. Michael.
Good evening. Yes, our first item is a discussion on the spring bike races. We have a request from the Greater Hartford Cycling Club to make a return of the spring races for 2023. And we have with us Matt Stewart, who is here, can go through and answer some of the questions and answers you may have. And he supplied a map that you should all have in front of you just to kind of orient yourself to that. And Matt, if you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium. But this is a slightly modified course from previous years, and certainly thank you for coming here, Matt, and to help walk us through what you...
Ladies and gentlemen of the Town Council, if you please. Actually, I've been before you before, back in 2019, and we also did a race in 2020. And then somebody put a really big building on the course. So what happened is we normally race in Farmington behind the Trump Corporation, but they're going to be doing some construction. So we're moving the race over one block. And I contacted the town manager and the police chief and went over my idea with them to do the race this year. I think actually the racers are probably going to like the course better than the other course we had. The race, the course that you see in front of you, the map, it's actually kind of like NASCAR. The racers will race for 30 to 45 minutes on that course in a series of laps. And we range anywhere from racers as young as 9 all the way up to, let me see, I think we had a 68-year-old guy racing last year who just happened to be the former national champion for cyclocross in the United States. So we get quite a variety of racers. It'll run from 8 to 12 every Sunday. And the police chief, I've talked to the police chief, and I've also talked to your new lieutenant, who you just appointed tonight, Lieutenant Quilter. And we have set up blocking off part of Northwest Drive And basically, it's going to go down to one lane. So traffic will still be able to come through, but it will be controlled by 2 Plainville police officers. The racers will come through on the other side of the road, and the rest of the course will be closed off to any traffic at that time, unless it's emergency vehicles or somebody who needs to get into one of the businesses. I have visited all the businesses on the course and given them a flyer of the course, the times, and the idea, and the vast majority of everybody I've talked to has been super positive and very, very helpful. The start-finish line will actually be behind the IMP Corporation. I talked to Andrew Brady over there, and he said we could use the back driveway to set up our cameras and put our officials there. So, do you have any questions about the event?
I think it sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, except it's March.
I remember your first time when you first did it, and so I think it's great. And hopefully the weather will be cooperating with your schedule in March, because that could be somewhat iffy, but hopefully it'll be okay. It'll work out.
Thank you very much. That's why we call it the Frozen Four. So we get anywhere from 200 riders plus per event. And it's a series of separate events that we run, and they have their own time on the course. So, and I'm very happy to say that we're returning to Plainville, at least part of the course, for 2023.
Wonderful. Well, I hope you have a very successful day and everybody enjoys it. I'm sure they will. Any questions from the council about this? I know we've looked at it in years past. No? You're all set? Well, thank you again for coming tonight and having a little chat with us. We appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Great, thank you. My next item is item number 2, just a quick update on the ARPA projects. The original project list recommended by the committee and approved by the council included a combination of approximately 20 projects, programs, and other upgrades for consideration. To date, the council has moved forward with public hearing and appropriation for 13 out of the 20 items. All in all, the items were estimated to come in under the total allocation for the town of $5,189,198. The most recent, of course, being the approval of the replacement of the self-contained breathing apparatus for the fire department. And I've included in your packet the upgraded list and where we are with that. And you know, in how this shakes out, there will obviously be estimates as we go through, and some of these projects will and are coming in under. Some of these projects, as you know, are coming over. But in the final analysis, we cannot spend more than the $5,189,198. So we're going to be providing an update. I'll be working with the finance director as we get closer to the final numbers in terms of getting the other 7 items through, and I would imagine that the next couple of items will be coming through in the spring when they're ready, when we're getting closer to actually doing those projects. So I thought it was helpful. I know one of the residents had raised it at the last meeting, and it would be a good opportunity just to update the council on where we are. So we are moving forward, and we're chipping away at that list, and we'll keep moving, and going through the spring and summer, we'll have more.
Okay.
So, my next item, item number 3, is an opportunity, another update on the Valley Water System open space and watershed land purchase. So this was brought to my attention that there are 48.8 acres of former watershed land adjacent to Southington's Crescent Lake recreational area and was acquired in 2021. However, the grant seeking reimbursement for the acquisition was denied by DEEP, but the town prevailed in getting the decision reversed a year later. So Mark DeVoe, the town planner, has worked behind the scenes with the Connecticut Department of Environmental Protection to correct these deficiencies in the initial grant application, and having done so, we're pleased to report that the grant request was recently preliminary approved by the state. So we are moving forward with that, and Mark has provided a detailed memo that included and a map outlining the location, the components of the property that was acquired by the town. And some of the highlights of his memo include the fact that the new open space is entirely within Plainville and has a suite of wonderful hiking trails that are maintained by groups of volunteers who are historically kept the Metacomet Trail and its many spurs clean and above water, so passable in terms of those trails, which are really, I'm told, very excellent views from the areas on the trail there, and very well kept. So again, thanks to the volunteers who keep those trails clean. The open space has been named the Bradley Mountain Recreational Area in deference to the location along the flanks of Bradley Mountain. Some of the views for the lookout points in Plainville include ridge lines as distant as Cheshire and Hamden. So it's quite the vista. I mean, I personally haven't been out there yet, but it's on my list for the spring and summer. I know Mark has been out there, and he says it's breathtaking in some.
It is. Years or longer ago.
September 2020. I was telling Michael today, we went for what we thought was going to be a walk, but I think, remember, Deb, the other year, it was more of a hike.
Yes.
But it was beautiful. It was a cold day, but it was a gorgeous day, and it was beautiful, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area, and when you get way up to the top, it's really extraordinary to see how far out. But it's a fun walk. You guys will have to do that.
Well, we'll definitely
we'll have to get. Who was our guide? Turnigalski.
Yes, Bill Gallagher.
Turnigalski actually was our guide. I guess he hikes that frequently, and he took us on the right trail. And we didn't get lost.
Matt
he got us
Daskell.
back down again. So
Yeah, Matt Daskell too.
That's right.
Matt Daskell as well. So it was very good. We enjoyed it. Those that went, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And the third point is just the acquisition furthers the goals set by the Plainville Open Space Land Acquisition Subcommittee, as well as meeting several recommendations found in the Plainville Plan of Conservation and Development. So there's more, but I thought that those were the highlights, and kudos to Mark and also Robert Lee for championing and fighting to get that done. I think it's a great acquisition. And my other item is item number 4. The Town Council, Joint Town Council Board of Education budget meeting. Just want to make a plug for that next week on the 25th. So we'll have the two entities coming together for a joint meeting to hear a presentation from Superintendent of Schools and the Town Manager for the fiscal year 2024 budget outlook. And the meeting will be held on Wednesday, January 25th, beginning at 6 p.m. in the library auditorium, and residents are encouraged to attend. The joint meeting agenda can be found on the town's website as well. So, just hoping that we have some interested residents that will turn out for that. And that brings me to the financial dashboard, which is in your packet. Happy to report that the trend continues to look good, that it's right in line. Beginning with our expenditures, budget of $66,110,220 through 12/31. We had expended $34,368,046. Represents 51.99%. So we're running just under the 2-year average of 53.58. As it breaks down on the general government side, our expenditure percentage through 12/31 is 58.38%, which is under the 2-year average of 59.88, and the same on the Board of Education side, spending through 12/31, $19,889,608 for a percentage spent of 48.15%, which is under their 2-year average of 49.75. So revenue lines looking and trending well there. Everything looks in line. Under the police overtime, they have a $550,000 budget. of which through 12/31, they've spent $221,361, which represents a percentage spend of 40.25%. They are currently under the two-year average of $338,855, so there's a difference there of $117,494, given what's spent to date over the two-year average. On the roadways overtime, budget of $76,895. They have spent $58,445. Their two-year average has been $83,041. So they're significantly under that. However, I am looking at that percentage of the overtime there, and I'm making some notes to myself there about the 76%, and I think is attributable to the fall, but I want to look at that again because we're only 6 months into that. So it's one of those notes I've made to myself to look into that. Budget, building and grounds is the next box. Building and grounds overtime. Also, to date, 18,926. The two-year average is 18,469. So running slightly above there, and again, 73% spent. And I think that's probably just a reflection again of the two roadways and grounds doing their work in the fall. Roadways snow overtime, there was an event, and so there is the first time some expenditures there of $4,994, and the two-year average is $6,350. So they're under the two-year average there for roadways, and the same for building and grounds on their snow overtime at $4,992, and the two-year average there of $3,281, so they ran slightly over their average, and I'm looking for detail on that as well. On the other side, on the right, we have the box for the hauling for tonnage of municipal solid waste, and that trend keeps running, continues to run under, as reported there through 12/31. We have reported 2,911 tons versus the two-year average of 3,243. So we're running under by 331 tons. Same for recycling, and that number for 12/31 was 658. The two-year average is 750, so running under by 91 tons there. And I did see in communication with the regional group, that seems to be the trend within the industry and across Connecticut, that those numbers are trending down, which obviously helps in terms of our estimated tipping fees and total collection. So good news to report there. Next page in terms of revenues, right in line, nothing out of the ordinary that I see there, with the all total revenues collected through 12/31 of $37,996,911. And that represents a percentage received of 57.85%, slightly under the two-year average at 58.13%. Under the tax collection for 12/31, $33,031,010, representing a percentage received of 67.41, which is just slightly higher than the two-year average of 67%. So those numbers, running in line, nothing that concerns me there at this point, all trending appropriately. Nothing changing on the next box, which is the unassigned fund balance, and that figures probably will not change until we get through the audit. Rob is working on that. I believe they should be in later at the end of the month to begin that process. Excuse me. Next page. Special funds through December 31st. Recreation fund budget expenditures, budget of $270,020. Through 12/31, They had expenditures of $131,944. Percentage spent 48.86. The two-year average 29.98, significantly higher. But again, as I've said consistently, it related to COVID and COVID activities in the past 2 years. So significantly skewed as we move back into what new normal of recreation is, and you see that reflected on the other side, on the revenue side, with respect to funding there. That through December 31st, they've taken in $74,214, so a 38.22% received, which is higher than the two-year average of 2780 on there. So their programs continue, I think, to pick up in terms of participation. So we would think that trend would continue as we move through into the spring and summer. Robertson Airport expenditures, $86,000 through 12/31. That's their budget of $86,050. Recorded through 12/31, $29,282. Percentage spent 34%. Other capital and other expenses, $155,767. Their revenue side obviously skewed there. Their budget had been $120,000, but through 12/31 is $390,162. Obviously was the ARPA infusion of $250,000 that I pointed out last time, so that'll carry through, and those numbers are skewed in that direction. The WPCA facility budget expenditure, a $4 million budget through 12/31, received $2,862,455. Expended, and that represents a 67.43% in terms of expenditures, which is up above the two-year average of 56.61, related to projects and ongoing projects there. Hoping for some detail from the superintendent there in terms of their ongoing operations and projects. And their revenue on their revenue side is up as well. Through 12/31, collected $4,695,000, and so that is a percentage receive of 113%, and their two-year average is 105. So timing of payments and sewer bills that have gone out, I think, are a reflection of those numbers, but they are trending slightly higher than the two-year average in terms of the revenue side. With respect to the Plainville Library expenditures, they have a budget of $763,461. Expenditures through 12/31 are $377,600. Percentage spent of 49.46, which is under their two-year average of 54.55%. So they're running under on their expenditure side, and on their revenue side running right in line with their two-year average of through 12/31, revenue of $341,726, percentage received 47.22, and their two-year average of 47.28. So running right in line with their two-year average. And the last is the major projects report. The road bond project expenditures to date of the $10,636,905. The expenditures to date have been $7,977,279, with a project balance of $2,659,626. For a percentage complete of 75% complete in terms of the bond project, road project there, and that will continue on into the new season. And nothing happening right now, just wrapping up projects like the bottom line there, the town line road construction. If I could jump to that project there, that is wrapped up. We just wrapped that up just a couple of weeks ago, and that was on time and under, but well, not sure that it was on time, but it was definitely under budget. And that is a reflection of the 20% contingency and admin costs that the state, the Council of Governments in the state passed through to us. So we are going to look at the opportunity for a reappropriation or reallocation of those funds there rather than giving back to the COG. And so something to look at there. Wheeler project is also complete, and that is going to be wrapped up. The only thing to wrap up there is the actual accounting and reimbursement. So there's nothing to report there. That is unchanged, as well as the turf maintenance fund, nothing to report. That is unchanged. And I did the report already on ARPA fund with the addition of the last appropriation for the self-contained breathing apparatus of $346,000. So that completes the report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
That is all I have for dashboard, and that leads us to happenings, and I'll turn it over to Andy.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we have quite a few happenings for today. This is the last announcement or reminder regarding Christmas tree disposal. So Plainville residents may either dispose of their Christmas trees at the transfer station or allow the roadways departments to collect them at the curbside. If residents choose to dispose of trees at the transfer station, they can be brought to 23 Granger Lane anytime from now until this Friday, January 20th, and trees should be placed in the designated bin outside of the transfer station gates. If residents would like to have the trees collected curbside, they can leave them out during their regular day for trash pickup. And again, that's for this week. All tree disposal collection will end on Friday, January 20th. Any questions can be referred to the Public Works Administration at 860-793-0221, extension 7176. From the Assessor's Office, Elderly and Disabled Tax Relief Program is now open. So elderly and disabled homeowners are reminded that it's time to file for their elderly and disabled homeowner benefits for the 2022 Grand List year. The income limit for a single person is not to exceed $40,300, and for a married couple, it is not to exceed $49,100. Applications must be filed by May 15th, 2023. Applications will be taken here at the Municipal Center by appointment only, and you may call the Assessor's Office for an appointment. The number is 860-793-0221, extension 7136. There are some other tax relief programs for qualified residents as well. Just quickly on those, the Town of Plainville offers a local option for tax abatement program and a local freeze program. Anyone interested in finding out more about these programs should contact the Assessor's Office as well at the same number. That's extension 7136. From the Tax and Revenue Collector's Office, since January 1st of this month, the town has been collecting the second installment for real estate and personal property taxes. Additionally, the tax office is collecting payments for motor vehicle supplemental bills. All bills will be considered delinquent after February 1st. And finally, from the Senior Center, for all information on Senior Center programs, please call the Plainville Senior Center at 860-747-5728. And all the programs are free and open to the public unless otherwise indicated. There's a Zumba class on Wednesday, January 18th from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. This is a free Zumba class demo. So if individuals are not sure whether or not they'd like to try it out, this would be a good time to do that. There's a new Zumba Gold instructor joining the Senior Center, so you can go there and check it out. Following this demo class, there's a full 8-week session that begins on Wednesday, January 25th and ends on March 15th. So if you'd like to register for the demo or for the 8-week session, you can call the Senior Center. Healthy Brain Series. This is every Thursday from January 19th to February 16th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. You could learn tips and best practices for improving brain health by participating in the Healthy Brain Series. The series includes 5 sessions, and participants are encouraged to attend all 5. The first session's on activities to challenge your mind. The second is importance of diet and nutrition. The third is finding meaningful engagement as you age. The fourth is importance of sleep and your brain. And the fifth session is lessons for living longer from people who lived the longest. So if you'd like to register, you can call the Senior Center. Telephone bingo is now going on. That's every Thursday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. You can play bingo over the phone or on Zoom without having to leave your home. Individuals interested in playing should register with the Senior Center to receive a bingo card, and prizes are available for winners. Memory Cafe at the Senior Center is on Thursday, January 19th at 2 p.m. Individuals experiencing changes in their memory and their caregivers are invited to join the Memory Cafe, a safe and supportive social gathering for people experiencing similar life challenges. Pet Therapy with Pork Chop the Pig. This is on Monday, January 23rd at 10 a.m. Mike, I'll be out of the office Monday, the 23rd. You can come meet Pork Chop, the pig. It's a pet therapy pig. Pork Chop will be happy to sit on laps, accept hugs, and perform some tricks. Pork Chop will be at the Senior Center, and you're welcome to go and relax and enjoy this
A pork chop.
pet animal. Yeah, Pork Chop. I think it's alive, though. Yeah. Memory screening is on Tuesday, January 24th at 10 a.m. Individuals with concerns about their short-term memory are welcome to attend this 10-minute memory screening from the Alzheimer's Foundation of America. This is a simple and safe health brain checkup, and it tests the memory and other mental skills. This is not a diagnosis for any particular illness, but results are completely confidential. Veteran Social Hour is on January 24th at 10 a.m. Veterans over the age of 60 and their spouses are invited to join this monthly informational and support meeting, which is facilitated by Sherry Vo, Veterans Liaison for Hartford Healthcare Senior Services. You can call the Senior Center to register. The Senior Center is also hosting a COVID-19 vaccine booster clinic. This is open to the public. This is on Monday, January 30th from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Griffin Health will be conducting free COVID vaccine boosters at the Senior Center. You can get your first few shots or any of the boosters. You can register, but walk-ins are also welcome. Help for Veterans. Eric Vickers, a Veterans Service Officer from the Connecticut Department of Veterans Affairs, will be at the Senior Center on Friday, February 1st, available only by appointment. You can call Eric Vickers to schedule an appointment. His number is 203-805-6343. And the last report for this week is a trip meeting for national parks and an island hopping trip. The Senior Center likes to put on trips to get people out of the town and to do some fun things either out in the community or throughout the country. In this case, the Senior Center is exploring two possible trips, one to some national parks in Arizona and in Las Vegas. This is planned for October 6th to the 13th. And the other is an island hopping trip, which is Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. This is planned for August 18th to the 20th. The meeting right now is scheduled for Thursday, February 2nd, and this is just to discuss the two trips, to see who's interested and things like that. So again, that's February 2nd at 2:30 p.m. That's all I have.
Great. Thank you both for your report. Are there any questions for either Michael or Andy with their reports tonight? Oh, great job. Thank you all very much. Okay, moving on to the next item is our public comment section. During this time, we welcome the public to come to our podium to speak to the council. You will have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address. Does anybody wish to speak to the council tonight? Mr. Frangos.
Lou Frangos, 10 Fairbanks Street. I'll start off with coming off of our report now. The financial dashboard, this has been an ongoing saga, but the Wheeler School project, it shows it's 89% complete. When will ever that thing get complete?
From a construction standpoint, it's complete. The project is complete. We're not showing it complete from a financial standpoint in terms of reimbursement that we seek from the state. So from a financial standpoint, it's an open item because we're seeking reimbursement. From a capital project, it is complete.
And following your lead, that was explained to me in the prior town manager, and that was quite a while back. How are we pursuing getting the money from the state?
I don't know the answer to that, but I'm all ears if anyone knows how to move the state on terms of getting reimbursement. We are communicating with them and expect, but we have been told, and we know of other communities that have been waiting years for school construction type grants to come back to the towns.
What I find, help me with this, what I find confusing to me is we're looking, the state is not responding to the remaining amount of money for the town of Plainville. But we're ready to embark on repairing another school. Will we require state money?
Well, everything's been submitted to the state as far as reimbursement.
Mhm.
We're just waiting for them, and sometimes the state government doesn't move very quickly.
No, I understand. Excuse me, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, that's all
Just
right.
to cut to the quick is, we haven't received from a prior project, yet we're talking about starting a new project. And that's kind of confusing to no man like me.
It's not unusual. We've done it before. I mean, we've had to wait sometimes to get
Well, are we
complete. We've
pursuing-
gotten some reimbursement on the project. We're just waiting for that last piece of reimbursement to come in.
And this is not challenging anybody. Are we pursuing that in any way, shape, or form? That were the return on investment on the Wheeler School?
Well, I do know, I talked to Rob Buden a month or maybe a couple of months ago, and Rob Buden, the money's come in through his office, our finance director, and he does, he does call, he follows up. He said he told me there was a community that waited 5 years to get their final reimbursement. So it has a lot to do with some of the staffing at the state. It has a lot to do with, there were some issues with school construction people that were involved in some things over a number of years. That is kind of complicated, some of the work that has to be done. So we would like it as soon as we could get it, of course, but it's totally out of our hands. But Rob does a regular check-in and to see where we are with that.
Okay, my only concern there is something's open, especially these times. Something's open and we're asking for something new. And that's just financially. And that's just what prompted me. Okay. Second, can I still?
You can keep going.
Okay.
We'll give you a little bit longer.
I'm discussing item 12, the middle school discussion. Is that open to the public tonight, or is that a discussion between the town manager and the town
That was
council?
my request to put on the agenda. I just, the chair shared some information earlier tonight, which thank you for doing that, but we had a meeting in last November with the Board of Ed, and we were given some information. I think it's time. It sounds like the information we were given last November has changed, and I was going to request that we have a joint meeting with the Board of Ed to revisit this and talk about apparently a new plan as far as how we're going to go about the middle school. So not to give away, I didn't really anticipate it being a discussion. I was just going to request.
Well, it sounded prior to this meeting that there is a direction, because you're talking about cost cuts already.
Well,
The council's not. We haven't discussed.
the council hasn't, as a group, talked about the middle school for some time, but the superintendent of schools has had conversation. I and Councilman Rocco met back in December or so, initially to talk about the capital request that the Board of Ed had put forward. But then it, of course, evolved into the discussion of the middle school, because that capital request was based on the fact that there was no support for a full renovate-like new project at the middle school. So there have been some side conversations that have happened, and the superintendent reported at his last board meeting that this is where they are right now. They're entertaining some thoughts of a reduced scope of project. They're working with their the contract that they had originally had with CSG. Yes. CSG. Those are the folks that put together the original proposal for the middle school. Yes. So things are changing, and conversations will continue. And of course, the council, at some point, I would expect, would have some conversation jointly with the Board of Education about next steps. Okay. There certainly are things that need to be taken care of at the middle school. Everybody is very much aware of that. However, the financial impact of a $59 million project right now is not something the majority of the council wishes to pursue, but we certainly are aware and don't deny there's work that needs to be done there.
Well, thank you. And again, following your lead on that, if I may. What caught my attention back there was talking about the gym at the middle school. And sometimes I have a little problem hearing, so bear with me. But he said, part of the middle school update cost, it would be separate for the gym. So are we saying we're having an amount of funding for taking care of upgrading the middle school and then a separate fund to do the gym of the middle school?
Possibly. That has to be fully developed. And I believe it had to do with the air conditioning in the gymnasium, which has been a problematic. So that's being looked at as a separate project.
If I may, that specifically is what I'm going at. If you're going to fund it, you're going to fund it, fine. But why the separation for air conditioning in a school building that you're trying to repair in the first place?
I wasn't there. I don't know the details of that conversation, but that's something that we'll follow through on, certainly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else wish to speak to the council that has not done so? Anybody else wish to speak to us tonight? Okay. I will close the public comment section and we'll move on to the rest of the agenda. We do not have any old business. Our new business item, I think we have one item.
That's all?
That's correct,
May I have
Madam
a
Chair.
motion?
Yeah.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood.
motion to approve the tax refunds as listed on the addendum.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Carries through. We have no other new business. Other discussions of interest. Mr. Wazorko asked that this be included on our agenda. So you've made a few comments here. Would you like to open it up for further?
No, like I said, it's more of a request to sit down with the Board of Ed and kind of review where we are right now. I talked to the town manager and, I don't know if January 25th, we're already meeting with them, if that's something we can incorporate in that meeting. Maybe a separate special meeting, but certainly, I think we all agree before budget season, it's, probably makes sense to sit down with them and just discuss, what direction, I don't want to say new direction, but,
Right.
get everybody on the same page.
Right. Well, as I said, there have been conversations with the leadership, with the superintendent, and he has been speaking to CGI about a reduced scope of work. CGI is looking into it. I believe they are looking at signing a new contract with CGI for some of the additional work that they're going to be asked to do. And I don't know that all of the information is available, but certainly we can meet with the Board of Ed. We can speak to the superintendent to find out when he does have information to share with us, and we can hear it all at one time. The board is now going through their work sessions for their budget, so they're tied up with that. We're going to have the joint meeting, as you alluded to, so we'll try to fit it in somewhere in the next several weeks. Does that make some sense?
That's fine with me. Yeah.
Once he has more information, Michael, you'll coordinate for us?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I think I'm not sure that I was just thinking ahead. I think we're going to try for that aviation subcommittee meeting on that 25th after the Board of Ed budget meeting, and so maybe a special meeting. But yeah, we'll coordinate. We'll,
maybe we could just have a brief
have
update,
kind of poll, and yeah, maybe we can fit it in there, but maybe we can springboard from there to a special, meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Madam Chair?
Anything else? Yes, Rosemary.
No, I just wanted to say that I would agree with that as well. I think one thing I would think that we all agree is that we do have to make a decision about what we're going to do in regards to the middle school. Personally, I still favor the renovated's new. I would love to have the council be open to looking at it as an option and comparing it with the other, pared down options that you summarized. In fact, I had taken out the board minutes and read that earlier today. I don't know, if the council is open to reconsidering the renovated's new and looking at it, like I said, with, side by side with another option, but I would hope so. I'm not sure, but I would like to just urge folks to think about, okay, let's look, if we're going to look at a pared down option, let's look at it in comparison to the renovated's new, so that we are, really considering all factors.
Madam Chair,
are you all set, Rosemary?
I am, yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Underwood.
I'm not sure if that option is still available to the council.
What option?
Renovate as new. I think we lost the opportunity.
No, that could resurrect itself in the future. For that last grant, we had not applied for the
Correct,
grant,
yeah.
but that becomes available. Is it annually?
Opens every year.
Every
Yeah,
year.
it opens every year.
It's every year, so it's still out there. I mean, it's still a possibility. So, okay, well, anybody else wish to join in, or you're all set? Everybody down here? You're good? Okay? All right, okay, thank you for your input. We do not have any executive session items, so I will ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Underwood,
motion to adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.